What's up guys, Houndish here, and today we have some Destiny 2 news coming in the form of This Week at Bungie. Already today they've spoken about the Destiny Content Vault and how that's going to be updated in Year 5. But in the TWAP they speak a little bit about Festival of the Lost, they give us a preview of a new ghost shell that we're going to get for the event, and Festival will be kicking off next week, but we're not going to get a trailer or reveal just yet. But we'll talk about it as well as some updates that we're going to see in a patch next week. Changes to drops in Grandmaster Nightfalls, and that's specifically for adept weapons, plus some other updates to strikes, exotics, and more. So guys, if you enjoyed the video, a rating below really helps us out, but now let's get into it. And first up, as we discussed in the previous video, Bungie gave an update to the roadmap for the Destiny Content Vault going into Year 5. And as a quick recap, they say the Tangled Shore, the Forsaken campaign, and Year 4 seasonal content will be entering the Destiny Content Vault in February 2022. And as always when Bungie vaults stuff, there is some mixed feedback about that content being taken out of the game, so as always give us your thoughts below. But starting on December 7th, the Forsaken campaign will be free to play until it enters the Content Vault, and some activities like Dreaming City Destination and the Battlegrounds will be retained. So bear that in mind, but if you want more info, I'll link the previous video about the vault changes below. Next though, Bungie and the TWAB give a quick preview of a new ghost shell that we're going to see for Festival of the Lost, and they say next week the festival kicks off. This is a time for Guardians to take a moment and reflect upon the past year, celebrating those we've lost as we continue to overcome each challenge that's been thrown our way. Many of the themes found within Festival of the Lost can be compared with those of a holiday celebrated by many in our community, such as the Day of the Dead. And so they introduced the Calavera Ghost Shell, which is a pretty cool one right there, which has been designed by Luis Yepes from Bungie. There's some additional bits of artwork and some of the design process that actually went into developing that shell, which is pretty cool. They also asked the dev, what are you looking forward to most in the Witch Queen? And Luis says, I'm really looking forward to revealing the truth and finally taking the fight to the Witch Queen's doorstep. No more hiding this time, light will prevail and shine through. It's going to be super interesting to see how two light sources battle it out, and if us Guardians will prevail. I'm almost certain that we will. Almost, but I'm also looking forward to all of the surprises Bungie have in store that we don't even know about, as is usual in every season. And they even have their Xbox and Steam tag up there if you want to try and play with one of the Bungie developers. So that's pretty awesome. But in terms of the Ghost Shell for Festival of the Lost, they say the Ghost Shell will become available when Festival of the Lost begins at 10 AM Pacific on October the 12th. And players can acquire it for silver directly or with Bright Dust when it's spotlighted during the event. And they say check back on Tuesday for an awesome trailer before the event goes live, so they're not going to be dropping the trailer until more or less when the event has started. So it will be cool to check that out next week. Also though, alongside the festival, they say they'll be deploying update 3.3.1, and they have a collection of bug fixes and some quality of life items to deploy. So for Grandmaster Nightfalls, they say they've increased the drop chance for an adept Nightfall weapon from a Platinum Grandmaster Nightfall to 100%. And so Platinum clears will guarantee an adept Nightfall weapon. And they say it won't guarantee perfect perk combinations, but players can expect to receive an adept reward when overcoming the challenges of Grandmasters, even on the hardest of weeks. That's a pretty positive change. Give us any thoughts you have down below. There will also be some changes for the Corrupted, and they're reducing the knockback buff from Sidious Durance, and that's an activity modifier on the Nightfall difficulty. And they've also removed the Unstoppable Phalanx champion from the Ransack Ogre encounter. Essentially to make it a bit less wild, that part of the encounter can be a little bit crazy. And they've also fixed an issue that blocked completion of the Corrupted Nightfall scoring Triumph. Then for the crossplay UI, they've updated the sign-on experience to show a single toast after character select if you have one or more pending Bungie friend request instead of a unique toast for every single pending request. So the UI should be a little bit less spammy. But also player search in the UI now has audio feedback. They also fixed a bug where the text chat auto-hide setting could revert to the default value of off. And there are a couple of other more minor UI changes for crossplay. They also have a list of issues that are expected to be resolved in the update next week, so Horror's Least will no longer drop from the Corrupted Nightfall at 0 power. The Bombardier's exotic Hunter's leg armor detonations will now deal damage to active supers. But also crashes will no longer be caused by opening the appearance customization screen with faction armor equipped. The tether time Nightfall Triumph can be earned as intended, and then the Corrupted Nightfall Triumph for reaching a score of 100k is rewarded as intended. And Wayfinder's Compass will have its inventory rotating every single day. And so a few extra changes that we'll see in that update next week. And so as always, I will keep you guys posted. Very much looking forward to Festival of the Lost this year. Of course, according to that Bungie roadmap, we're going to be getting a new activity called Haunted Sectors, so looks like that'll probably replace the Haunted Forest. And then, quite a few months back now, Bungie allowed us to vote on which set of armor we were going to see for the event, and the community voted for the Dinosaur themed set of armor, so we're also going to be getting access to that. There'll be a ton of cosmetics like the ghost shell that we spoke about. And who knows what else we may find. As always, I'll keep you posted here on the channel over the course of the weekly reset. Now though, moving away from Festival of the Lost stuff for a moment, DMG speaks about TWAB and trials, and he says, to set expectations, tomorrow won't host the longest TWAB in the world, not even close. It's short, sweet, and to the point. And players asked if there'd be any conversation about trials, so he said none this week, or for the next few weeks for that matter, and things will be calmer for a few trials weekends. After the initial assault of tuning passes week by week right after initially dropping the trials revamp, we're going to take a breather and let things settle for a bit. He goes on to say that we do still have a labs weekend planned for October, and that's going to be Freelance, so that should be interesting, but he says that they won't be touching matchmaking or anything else for a few weeks. On top of this, the team did speak about some feedback items over the last few TWABs, and they have some changes that they want to develop over time. And he reiterates from last week's TWAB once again that the next few weekends will be back to standard elimination, with the flawless pool starting on Sunday at 10 AM. And essentially says they are looking to keep some consistency in the weekends ahead. So we're going to see that standard elimination with the kind of matchmaking we've come to expect and the flawless pool starting on Sunday. But at some point in October, we will get Trials Labs with Freelance, so that's going to be cool, and give us any thoughts you have down below. Final thing to mention is that Bungie's store tweeted, and they said 24 artists, 12 months, and one incredible calendar. And they are publishing a 2022 Destiny community fan art calendar, so we can see there are pieces of artwork right there from various folks in the community. And they say that all of the proceeds will go towards St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital. So if you fancy picking up one of those calendars and showing the support to that charity, I will link it down in the description box below. But for today, guys, that's what we have to round up in this video. So as always, I hope you've enjoyed it. Let us know if you're looking forward to Festival of the Lost next week. As always, I'll keep you posted here on the channel with any details worth going over once we get the event. I'm definitely looking forward to having a little bit of a different gameplay loop, or activity I suppose, for the event. That'll be interesting. As well, of course, as that dino armor, which I think quite a few people are excited for. So as always, get subscribed to the channel and I'll keep you up to date with all of that stuff. If you've enjoyed the video today, a rating below does very much help us out, but otherwise, whatever you guys get up to, I hope you have an awesome day.